Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We're on the Brabazon course today at the Belfry. We're on the 4th hole and we're going to do a video on why a draw shot maybe isn't the best shot for you to try and play. Lots and lots of golfers struggle with left to right shots, fades, pulls, slices, that kind of thing, and they are desperately trying to hit that ball right to left. It is the most common thing that we get asked is, how do I hit a draw? I want to hit the ball right to left. Now, whilst we understand that this is very desirable, it's what they believe is going to make them better, how we do it is just as important as doing it in the first place. And what we often see is golfers achieving this position incorrectly, and whilst it will give them maybe a right to left ball flight, it's going to be very, very inconsistent, and it's going to be very, very difficult to play with on the golf course. So let's just talk about what we need to have a right to left ball flight. We're talking for this for a right-handed golfer. So if I want to hit a draw shot, I must have the club path somewhere out to the right of target. So if I'm trying to hit this ball straight down the middle, my path needs to be somewhere up the right of that. Okay? Relative to that club path, the club face needs to be some amount to the left of it. If we can get those two components, we should be able to produce that right to left ball flight. Now, for those golfers who struggle, without going into too much detail here about what happens when, all that kind of stuff, those golfers would generally get the shaft angle too steep in the downswing. So we can see how that club shaft is almost vertical. From there, we generally get the club working in from this position, and the path is normally to the left. Now, when we need a path to the right, this obviously isn't going to work too well for us. So we need, generally, for a lot of golfers, to get the feeling of this club shaft being a lot flatter. Now, the terms that we would hear people use is kind of more underplaying, flatter, all those kind of things. And they're effectively trying to get this golf club to move more on an angle like this and less steep. Now, that's absolutely fine, but there are different ways of doing it. What you would generally see from the best players in the world who would play with a standard right to left ball flight is that the forearms would create this flatter plane here. So you can see how from here, a little bit more rotation of my forearms creates this slightly flatter club plane. Now, we'd often see many golfers make a good solid backswing with a slightly steeper shaft angle, and as they change directions, the forearms lay the club down a little bit, and that allows it to come in from this flatter swing plane here, flatter angle, and that allows them to move the path out to the right. That's the correct way of doing it, and that's what we'd see good players do. What do we tend to see some players do who are desperate to hit a draw? Well, what we would often see is that they wouldn't use the forearms to flatten the golf club and flatten the plane. They would use the body, and they would use early extension to do this. So what I mean by that would be they would make a backswing here, and they would use their body and they would thrust their hips in towards the golf ball, causing the lead shoulders to go high, causing the head to back up and pull away. And you can see how the changing body positions has changed the shaft angle. Okay, I haven't used my forearms, I've used my body early extending this way. Okay. Now, what this does is, yes, it will put the club a little bit more under plane, and it will probably see you have a club path which is some amount to the right of target. What it has done though is it's thrown my body out of position. I'm really going to struggle to strike it consistently from that position. The other thing it tends to do as well is it tends to lay the club face like this. So the club face is pointing way up towards the sky. Now, if I need to get that club face to point left of the path, I'm going to have to do some serious rotation of that face to get that club anywhere near where it needs to be. That's going to lead to inconsistency because the rate of closure is going to be extremely high, and we're going to find that that golfer hits lots of pushes, lots of hooks, as well as the odd draw. So it's really, really important that we understand what we're trying to do to hit that draw. We do want the forearms to lay the club down a little bit. We see lots of good players doing that. We don't simply want to use the body, early extend, push the hips in, lead shoulder goes up, the club, yes, it gets under plane, but now I'm going to have to get my body's going to be really stuck. I'm going to use a lot of hands, a lot of forearms through the ball, and I'm going to find that I hit quite a lot of pushes, hooks, and overdraws. Really difficult to control those. Okay, so initially, those golfers who do that will see the ball moving right to left, and they're probably pretty happy. So they continue with it, and they believe they're doing the right thing, and it's going to give you limited success. Okay, so if you are working towards a draw shot, and you are trying to get the club maybe a little bit more under plane or a bit on a flatter plane, trying to move the path out to the right, fine. But let's just make sure we do it the right way so we get consistent draws, not, you know, sort of inconsistent draws where we struggle to control the face angle. Okay, so it's something I do see quite commonly. I see lots of golfers falling into this mistake. It's one of the issues we see because hundreds of golfers are desperate to move that ball right to left to rid themselves of the sort of fade or the slice that maybe they had for a few years. So hope that makes sense. Hope that leaves you in a better position to maybe work on the swing to try and maybe hit a little bit of a draw. Use the forearms, don't use the early extension of the body to flatten the club plane, and if you can do that, you'll hopefully hit some better golf shots. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, then click the like button. If you've got any comments, you can pop those in the box down below, and I'll do my best to respond to as many of those as I can. And if you haven't done already, then please click the subscribe button as well to get access to these videos free. There's more videos going up weekly, different topics, different content, hopefully going to help you hit some better shots, play some better golf, and lower the scores. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again soon.